So, hello friends, welcome to our channel Life Made Easy. And so, to tell something about this channel, this is a channel we have started about 1.5 months back. The idea is to share videos and information or updates about income tax, finance, accounts in a much simplified way. आप जैसे जानते हो कि currently there are so many updates that come from the department. Maybe वो कोविड रिलेटेड हो या इन जनरल एक्सटेंशंस हो, काफी सारी इंफॉर्मेशन जो टैक्स रिलेटेड है थोड़ी कॉम्प्लेक्स रहती है. So the idea with this channel is to give this information in much simplified manner, so that a layman or a normal businessman is able to understand that information. उनके लिए वो चीज़ें एडप्ट करना, इम्प्लीमेंट करना बिजनेस में थोड़ा इजी हो जाए. तो आइडिया यही है. और इफ यू वांट टू फॉलो अस, यू लाइक व्हाट वी आर शेयरिंग, आई विल सजेस्ट यू प्लीज फॉलो एंड सब्सक्राइब टू आवर चैनल, ताकि आप अपडेटेड रहे हमारे नेक्स्ट वीडियोस के लिए. सो वेलकम. आज का सेशन हम कर रहे हैं टिपिकली रिलेटेड टू जो रिलीफ की अनाउंसमेंट कल आई है, अपने फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर हैज अनाउंस. So this is a session because a lot of things that were announced yesterday were related to MSMEs, and so I have my partner Devang Doshi here online with us. Hi Devang.
Hello Ketan, and hello everyone.
Yeah. So we discussed yesterday. After this announcement that the FMS got, we were burdened with a lot of clients of ours had called us. सबके दिमाग में एक ही क्वेश्चन है कि जो रिलीफ अनाउंस किया है, सबको पता है डिटेल्स में, पॉइंट पॉइंट पे अनाउंस किया है, बट एज अ बिजनेस ओनर व्हाट इज इन इट दैट फॉर देम, उनका क्या फायदा है, उनको उसका कैसे बेनिफिट मिल सकता है, ये चीज सब थोड़ी फार पीपल वर लिटिल क्लूलेस. एंड so our lot of clients kept calling us. We were explaining this certain things to them, how this benefits will be impactful to their business. And that's where this idea clicked, ki why not, similar to our client, there are so many other business owners out there who probably are looking for such kind of consultancy. They also are confused, probably they also need answers ki how they can make benefit of this announcements. And that's the idea when we decided let's go live to tell people about this. And here we are. So I think we'll start with it. So let's meanwhile, I'll keep on sharing the screen of the announcement that the government has made. So we are again in coordination with what the government has announced, and we are taking it point by point. So Devang, would you like to have some introduction or some pointers over here before we start?
Yeah. So the scheme that was announced by the government, it was like named as Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme, related to Atmanirbhar Bharat, promoting self India, make in India concept and all that. So all these schemes are related to that, and also to provide support to SMEs who have been affected financially due to the lockdown and COVID situation. So many announcements were made. So what we'll do is point by point we will go with all the announcements which are related to MSME, and in the end we will take out all your comments and answer them one by one.
Yeah. So to add on here, so because this is a live session, and we are open to live questions as well. So आपके दिमाग में इस announcement related कुछ भी questions अगर आते हैं, कुछ भी related, we are obviously एक generic हम लोग को understanding है कि क्या-क्या questions as a business owner आपके दिमाग में आ सकते हैं. तो we are already prepared for that. We are already discussing that during our session. And उसके अलावा अगर आपको कुछ अलग चीज, कुछ अलग questions आपके दिमाग में है, so that you can probably feel free to write in the chat section, which is just next to your window, or we'll try to take as much as questions today. Or agar because of time constraint we are not able to take them, you very well leave those questions in the comment section, and we will surely get back to you with the answers to that. And meanwhile, still a request again to all of you to please subscribe to our channel, so you are updated with our future videos as well. So with this, let me just start with our session today, and going ahead, let me just share the notification that was announced. So as we can see, the first 6 pointers of the announcement covered a lot about MSMEs. It was all about MSMEs. MSMEs को क्या मिलना चाहिए, क्या मिल रहा है, no. So in detail में अगर वो हम लोग provisions देखेंगे तो there are so many pointers to it, and all these pointers अगर हम लोग को crux में समझना है, so Devang, this is where I would like you to give your inputs कि ये जो MSME related जो भी announcements government ने की है, इसका crux क्या है, at the bottom line what does it give, what message does it give, and if you have to just briefly define or explain it, how will you explain it?
Yeah.
What are you, Devang?
करेक्ट. सो जैसे कि कल से बहुत सारे इंफॉर्मेशन और आर्टिकल्स आते होंगे, तो वी विल नॉट गो टू मच इन डिटेल, बट वी विल गिव यू अ क्रंच समरी अबाउट ऑल द पॉइंटर्स कि आपके लिए क्या एप्लीकेबल है, क्या नॉट एप्लीकेबल है, और हाउ यू कैन टेक बेनिफिट ऑफ दिस. तो जो सबसे पहला स्कीम अनाउंस हुआ है, दैट इज ₹3 लाख करोड़ कोलैटरल फ्री ऑटोमेटिक लोन्स फॉर बिजनेस इंक्लूडिंग एमएसएमई. नाउ इसमें इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या है कि दिस इज एप्लीकेबल टू एमएसएमईज and businesses who have already taken a loan from bank. तो आपका अगर ऑलरेडी कोई सीसी फैसिलिटी है, कोई टर्म लोन फैसिलिटी है, तो आपको ये स्कीम एप्लीकेबल है. अगर आपके पास कोई एग्जिस्टिंग लोन नहीं है एज ऑन टुडे, तो आपको ये स्कीम में लोन नहीं मिलेगा. देन यू हैव टू अप्लाई फॉर अ फ्रेश लोन. तो इसमें ये स्कीम की इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स क्या है कि आपका समझो जो एग्जिस्टिंग लोन है उसका एक लोगों ने लिमिट डाला है कि कितने लिमिट तक का ये लोन किसको एप्लीकेबल होगा, उसके लिए एक लिमिट डाली है. तो लिमिट इज कि आपका आउटस्टैंडिंग लोन एज ऑन डेट शुड बी अप टू 25 करोड़ एंड आपका टर्नओवर शुड बी अराउंड 100 करोड़. इससे ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर आपका इसके अंदर है तो यू आर एलिजिबल. तो फॉर एग्जांपल समझो आपका 25 करोड़ का लोन आउटस्टैंडिंग है, तो उसका 20% आपको एड ऑन मिल जाएगा इमीडिएटली विदाउट गिविंग एडिशनल डॉक्यूमेंट्स, एडिशनल कोलैटरल, कुछ भी देना नहीं पड़ेगा. ऑटोमेटिकली अंडर दिस स्कीम आपको एलिजिबिलिटी हो जाएगी 20% ऑफ द आउटस्टैंडिंग बैलेंस.
So
और इसका इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट
एक क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे आता है, when you say automatically eligibility मिलेगी, so people do they need to approach bank because document submit नहीं करने, but there has to be a primary communication from the borrower, या फिर बैंक अपने आप से लिमिट बढ़ाने वाली है?
अपने आप तो नहीं बढ़ाएगी, डेफिनेटली जिसको चाहिए वो भी करेंगे. तो आपको एक फोन कॉल करना है या एक मैनेजर के साथ या बैंक का जो भी एक आपका आरएम है उनके साथ आपको टॉक करके आपको देखना है कि क्या उसके फॉर्मेलिटीज है. ये फॉर्मेलिटीज बैंक टू बैंक डिफर करेगी. ओनली थिंग इज आपको कोई एडिशनल कोलैटरल नहीं देना. विदाउट कोलैटरल आप अगर बैंक को अप्रोच करोगे, दे विल टेल यू कि हमारा बैंक का ये प्रोसीजर है, फॉलो दैट प्रोसीजर एंड यू कैन इमीडिएटली अप्लाई फॉर द 20% एनहांसमेंट ऑफ योर लिमिट. ये जो न्यू लोन होएगा उसमें एक बेनिफिशियल ये भी है कि आपको प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट का मोनिटोरियम मिलेगा फॉर 12 मंथ्स. तो आपको 12 मंथ्स तक प्रिंसिपल रीपेमेंट नहीं करना, इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट आपको करना है. प्रिंसिपल रीपेमेंट के लिए आपको मोनिटोरियम मिलेगा अप टू 12 मंथ्स. इसका टेन्योर 4 इयर्स के लिए है, मतलब 4 इयर्स में आपको जो एडिशनल लिमिट है वो पे ऑफ करनी है. और इसका कट ऑफ डेट जो है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. ये आपको 31 अक्टूबर 2020 के पहले अगर आपको अवेल करनी है स्कीम तो तब तक करनी है, इसके बाद ये स्कीम अवेलेबल नहीं होगी. So I think these are the main pointers अगर नटसेल में देखे तो. जैसे कि मैंने फर्स्ट बोला कि आपका एग्जिस्टिंग लोन होना चाहिए और वो जो लिमिट मैंने आपको डिस्क्राइब की थी वो लिमिट में आपका बैठना चाहिए. I think that is the main thing. I think
when we talk about existing loan, so what kind of loan are we talking over here? It is a working capital loan या फिर मेरा अगर plant and machinery के लिए मैंने कोई लोन, टर्म लोन लिया है, what kind of loan are this government emphasizing over here when they are talking about outstanding credit?
So yeah, they are not mentioned in detail, but I think it covers all types of loan which are existing you are availing as an MSME from the banks.
Okay, because when they are saying they are funding your working capital requirement, so technically in my opinion it is mostly the funds that you have borrowed for business. It could be for maybe term loan or working capital, but if it's for business, so I think personal loans will not be included over here.
It is for business because it is only for MSMEs and business loan ऐसा लिखा हुआ है, so that is the criteria also.
Right. Okay.
So then we move on to the next that is the all things I think covered under this scheme. The next scheme that has been declared is relief given to stress assets or NPA assets. So काफी सारे MSMEs में ये हो जाता है कि उनके लोन्स जो है वो NPA में चले गए हैं या वो स्ट्रेस एसेट्स में है. So due to COVID or due to this stoppage of business and all that, उनको fresh loan या fresh liquidity लाना बहुत difficult हो रहा था. So for this, the government has announced that those assets which are been declared as NPA or which are under the stress category, उनको भी लोन मिलेगा अंडर दिस कैटेगरी। तो डेफिनेटली इसमें भी आपका एक कंडीशन है कि आपके पास ऑलरेडी एक लोन होना चाहिए, आपका लोन जो है इट इज डिक्लेयर्ड एज एन एनपीए और इट इज अ स्ट्रेस एसेट। तो इसमें गवर्नमेंट क्या करेगी, जो आपको फंडिंग मिलनी है वो आप प्रमोटर्स को देगी, और प्रमोटर्स को ये फंड्स फिर वो कंपनी में लाते हैं एज एन इक्विटी और एज अ पार्टनर्स कैपिटल और प्रोप्राइटर्स कैपिटल।
ओके, तो ये फंडिंग डायरेक्टली कंपनीज या बिजनेस को नहीं मिल रही है, थ्रू द प्रोमोटर्स इट इज गोइंग टू गेट इन्फ्यूज इनटू द कंपनी।
यस यस।
सो प्राइमरी बोरोवर जो रहेंगे वो कंपनी या फिर बिजनेस के
तो उसके
प्रोमोटर्स या
प्रमोटर्स,
ओनर्स रहेंगे, राइट?
सो द नेक्स्ट स्कीम उसके बाद जो है दैट इज इक्विटी इन्फ्यूजन्स फॉर एमएसएमई। दिस इज बेसिकली यू नो फॉर ऑल कॉर्पोरेट एमएसएमईज, क्योंकि ये इक्विटी इन्फ्यूजन है, सो इट इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल फॉर प्रोप्राइटरी और पार्टनरशिप कंपनीज। सो इन दिस द गवर्नमेंट इज गोइंग टू फंड थ्रू यू नो, एक दो फंड्स लाएंगे वो लोग, दैट दे एट प्रेजेंट दे आर कॉलिंग इट दैट अ मदर फंड और अ डॉटर फंड्स। इन फंड्स के नाम लाएंगे और बैंक्स को गाइडलाइंस भी मिलेगी कि इसमें कैसे फंडिंग करनी है, क्या वगैरह डिटेल गाइडलाइंस के थ्रू इसमें फंडिंग होगी। बट यस, इसमें जो है वो एप्लीकेबिलिटी इज के ये कॉर्पोरेट एमएसएमईज को ही एप्लीकेबल होगा, क्योंकि ये इक्विटी फंडिंग है।
So, in a nutshell, can I say Devang कि ये जो तीन loan या equity infusion, whatever name they say, जो government has announced, the first 3 pointers are
Yeah.
basically to create liquidity in the market for MSMEs. Because
Yes.
as we understand, last 2 or 3 months have been a very, very difficult time to all the small business owners. काफी लोगों के collections अटके हुए हैं, कस्टमर से पेमेंट्स नहीं आ रही है, एंड गोइंग फॉरवर्ड धंधा तो करना है, बिजनेस चालू करना है, बट टू मीट योर फ्यूचर एक्सपेंसेस, फ्यूचर वर्किंग कैपिटल, अगर हाथ में कोई ऑर्डर्स है तो ऑर्डर्स एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए जो फंडिंग आनी चाहिए ना, उसके लिए पैसा नहीं हाथ में. सो आई थिंक दिस इज एन एफर्ट फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट टू मेक देम those funds available in terms of additional borrowings, and I think it's just to have a cash flow movement.
2.5 months में
Right.
all the MSMEs have incur their fixed expenses. उनका fixed expenses तो चालू ही है, मीटर तो चालू ही है.
बराबर.
तो कहीं ना कहीं everyone is affected, all MSMEs are affected due to this. All of them are taking the burden of losses. तो कहीं ना कहीं yes, government ने उनको push करने के लिए, एक positive environment create करने के लिए they have announced this stimulus package.
So currently we have 2 questions from S9 Financial Planners and S&T Central. So the questions are like, how do service industry companies under 5 crore turnover benefit from this? Also similar question, I can say similar question, or rather it's a very related question wherein the answer I think will be the same. S&T Central India is asking, is it beneficial for business coaches in any way? So would you like to take those questions, or shall I repeat for you?
No, I got the questions, but I would tell them to wait, because we would go to the MSME definition. We will tell them what all are covered under MSME, and then we'll come back to this question, because then
Perfectly.
it will be more clarity on that.
Perfectly right. So going ahead, I think as we have discussed कि MSME as a sector क्या-क्या benefits government से उनको मिलने वाली है in terms of funding. Obviously it's finance funding, उनको सिर्फ capital या फिर funds available किए गए हैं, but ये funds in a way that they reach maximum MSMEs, they have also changed the definition of MSMEs. आज अगर current definition के हिसाब से a particular number of companies were coming under MSME bracket, with this changed definition that net has widened, so other businesses which were not under MSME categories earlier can also come into this and take that advantage. So I think here we move on to the definition of the new definition of an MSME. So जैसे all of you are aware, initially the definition was only based on investment in plant and machinery, and the criteria or the amount of quantum was different for a manufacturing enterprise and a service enterprise. So as you can see on the screen, the earlier figures were like something like 25 lakhs. अगर 25 lakhs से कम investment है तो a manufacturing unit was micro. It's less than 5 crore, it was a small enterprise, and if it was less than 10 crore, so it was a medium enterprise, similar to service enterprise. So what now they have done is, एक तो वो लोग ने ये cap बढ़ा दिया है investment का, and they have removed this differentiation between a manufacturing and a service sector. तो जो कैप नया जो कैप लिमिट रहेगा, दैट इज Same for both, either you are a manufacturing or a service industry. And what are the new caps? Basically, now, okay, and additionally, they have introduced one more criteria apart from investment, is it turnover. So, if your investment is less than 1 crore and your turnover is less than 5 crore, then you are under micro. And similarly, you can see about 10 crores come turnover in investment is the small, and 50 crores come turnover to small, and similar 20 and 100. So with this, what they have done, they have covered MSMEs which could have out of the MSME bracket after a particular point of time, so they can also get beneficial from them. Also in this, initially जब सर्विस एंटरप्राइज हम लोग बात करते हैं तो काफी सारे कंसल्टेंसी सर्विस हो, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल बिजनेस कोच सर्विस हो, सर्विस इंडस्ट्री हो. सो इनिशियल जो कैप था उसके बाद अगर आप क्रॉस करते हो तो शायद आप एमएसएमई के ब्रैकेट से बाहर आते हो, बट बिकॉज ऑफ दिस न्यू क्राइटेरिया, new composite criteria, you are well within the MSME bracket. And to answer to this question from SN Financial Planners and Business Coach, so yes, Business Coach can very well be covered under services as an MSME. But again, I would reiterate और मैं फिर से बोलना चाहूँगा कि जो देवांग ने explain किया, तो benefits that the government has announced are pertaining to existing borrowers of the bank. तो अगर आप बोल रहे हो कि you are a service business coach or a service industry and you never borrowed earlier, और अभी अगर आपको fresh loan चाहिए तो शायद आप ये bracket में cover नहीं हो रहे. What's your call on this, Devang?
Yeah, जो first दो loans बोले आपने, जो collateral free automatic loans था और subordinate loans था for stress and MPA assets में, उसमें आप cover नहीं होंगे. But जो third type of facility दिया है, जहाँ पे वो equity funding के through आपको दे रहे हैं, so that fund is due to promoting businesses to come to expand themselves. तो आप वो fund के अंदर, if you can show that you're as a service industry, as an S9 financial planner or as a business coach, if you are going to expand and you need more funding in terms to meet that expansion, then yes, under that third criteria, you can apply for the loan for your expansion and for your growth potential, because that fund is basically for development of MSMEs. इसलिए उन्होंने वो इन्वेस्टमेंट क्राइटेरिया और टर्नओवर क्राइटेरिया को भी बढ़ा दिया, ताकि कई बार पहले क्या होता था कि लोग एमएसएमई के बेनिफिट्स लेना चाहते थे पर वो क्राइटेरिया के ऊपर जाते थे करके वो एक्सपेंशन प्लान वो लोग स्टॉप कर देते, बोला नहीं हमको नहीं करना है क्योंकि हमको एमएसएमई में रहना है, उसके बेनिफिट्स लेने हैं. सो ड्यू टू दिस व्हाट गवर्नमेंट नाउ वांट्स इज टू प्रमोट आत्मनिर्भर भारत. तो दे वांट एवरी इंडियंस टू प्रमोट देयर बिजनेस, एक्सपांड देयर बिजनेस. इसलिए उन्होंने वो जो थर्ड टाइप ऑफ फंड है इसलिए उन्होंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया है. सो अंडर दैट यू कैन अप्लाई फॉर द लोन.
But now, as we said earlier, this fund is applicable to mostly corporates or private limited companies. So अगर मैं एक individual proprietorship हूँ, अगर partnership हूँ, तो it seems I can't make use of that particular benefit. Either I have to convert into a corporate entity, and probably then I can approach the bank for this funding, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we have 3 more questions over here. So the next question is from CA Dhananjay Nirali. So his question goes like, what about new loans to MSME who have not taken loans? So I think this we have already covered when we discussed. So the measures that are announced are only for if you already hold some kind of borrowing from the bankers. So if it's an MSME who has not taken a loan earlier, it's a fresh loan, then probably they have to go through a regular route of obtaining a finance, right? Devang, you there?
Yeah.
So the next question is from Neeraj Agarwal. Is there anything to support an individual entrepreneur, particularly towards any specific industry? I think Neeraj, आपका question थोड़ा generic है. अगर आप उसको थोड़ा specific बता सकते हो, if you're talking about which specific industry, because MSME में they have not specified any particular industry. It's a manufacturing enterprise or service enterprise. So if you can just narrow it down to your question, narrow it down, so we will be much easier to understand and explain it to you. The next question is from Sandeep Yadav. I have a beauty salon. What is the benefit for me? Would you like to take that, Deva?
Yeah, so as I said, it comes under the service category of MSME. But definitely, if you have, as earlier explained, already if you are having a loan, then you can get the top-up loan. But if you want a fresh loan, then you need to apply under the third category which has been announced. If not, then not applicable.
Okay. Okay, we have one more question from C. Dhananjay Nirali. Equity infusion is defined somewhere, is asking. Otherwise, it should include proprietary and partnerships as well. Let me take this for you, Devang. So the government has not yet defined equity infusion as of now, but with the provisions that they have explained, it seems it is talking about private limited companies wherein generally equity funding or MSMEs which they will help or encourage to get listed on stock exchange. So मोटा मोटी ये corporate entities के बारे में ही बात चल रही है ऐसा लग रहा है. Otherwise, there will be detailed circulars if there is kind of including a proprietorship or partnerships in this equity infusion. There will be a more clearer circular or detailed guidelines on a later stage. Okay, so the next question again. Okay, so Neeraj has specified he is a marketing consultant. So, as an individual entrepreneur, specifically under marketing consulting, how can he make benefit of this announcement?
So as of now, in the first category which has been announced for individual, I don't think so. For fresh funding, there are any announcements yet. So as of now, none of the announcements are applicable.
The next is Smith Shah. His question is: we are in a thread cutting business in textiles. What can be the benefits for that? So just a clarification. So there can be two aspects to this. Thread cutting is kind of a job work industry, which again comes under I think service sector. Or otherwise, if it's, what's your say on this, Devang? Oh, it's a job work. Okay.
Yeah. So thread cutting as a job worker is considered as a manufacturing activities. Will be covered under MSME. And yes, if any existing loans are there, you can take the benefits.
Okay. So I think mota moti the point come again and again to that only. If you have existing credit or existing loan outstanding for the business, only then you can make use of this collateral free automatic loans or subordinate debt in case if you're an NPA.
Yes. And
otherwise, if you're a corporate
expansion or promotion of business, then you can
apply under third category. So if you are a MSME, or rather if you are a business who has never borrowed funds for the business earlier, probably you will have to go through a regular route of applying for loans. Great. So let's take one last question in this segment of MSME, and then probably we'll move on to further announcements with respect to the business that the government has made. So next question is from Brand Gappa. It says, will it be available for payment of salaries in service sector for an existing micro availing CC facility from bank, but small outstanding and no new business?
I think when we cover the PF part, we can,
salaries
this question.
Okay. Cool. So there's one more question we have. I'm an interior designer and a proprietor. Nothing looks clear. Anything that I missed or you could throw light on? So again, I think we have been more clearer. As an individual, as a proprietor, as an interior designer, you very well come under a service industry category. So if you meet these criteria, so you are an MSME as well. And if you are also an existing borrower for borrowed any funds for the business, you can very well be covered under this category or this category, depending on what kind of loan you are holding. Great. So I think we'll move on to the next announcement in respect of
all business. The other questions we will come back and answer them individually.
Yeah, for other questions, I think we'll cover as and when we are kind of question, we'll come to it. Till then, we'll just cover other points from the announcement, and that's it. So if we missed out another question, so please feel free to post in the comment section. I'm again telling you because we have a time restraint session over here. So in case you missed out on your question, so just type it in your comment section and we'll come back to you on it. Okay. So the next. Okay, in MSME again, there are certain factors that the government has announced. Global tenders disallow kiya hai. If you are applying for a government tender which is up to 200 crores, so they have limited that to locals and local entrepreneurs in India. So global tenders are disallowed over there. So a lot of Indian companies can make benefit of this. Okay.
All the queries related to all the individual businesses who were telling that what benefits are there. I think this is one benefit where you can make use of. If you are not into making tenders to the government, you can make use of this new scheme that is promoting Indians to make use of the tender facilities.
Right. So go ahead, Devang. So next section, let's talk about the EPF support that the government has announced for business and workers.
Okay, so I'm taking it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for the Provident Fund, the government has announced two schemes. The one is where the number of employees are less than 100 and more than 90 or 90 employees out of them are having a salary of less than 15,000 per month. So for them, as earlier, it was also there in the month of March and April, that the government was going to pay the 12% EPF contribution of employee as well as 12% EPF contribution of the employer. So all the entire 24% was to be contributed by the government. So now this facility has been extended further for 3 months for the month of June, July, and August. So there is one category. And now for the other category, which does not fall under this Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package. So where the number of employees are more than 100 and where the salary to employees is more than 15,000. For them, the government has introduced this second scheme wherein the employee contribution of 12% has been reduced to 10%, and accordingly employers contribution of 12% has been reduced to 10%. So there is a benefit of 4%. Now there is a thin line of understanding which is required over here. For example, I will just give you an example. जैसे कि कोई एम्प्लॉय का सैलरी समझो 100 रुपीज है, तो उसमें 12% एम्प्लॉय कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन हो गया 12 रुपीज और एम्प्लॉयर कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन हो गया 12 रुपीज. तो एम्प्लॉय को इन हैंड सैलरी मिलता था 76. दैट इज 100 minus 12 minus 12. So 100 minus 24, 76 in hand milta tha.
This is when we say the CTC is 100 including all the perks and all the
correct
contributions.
So now under the revised scheme which the government has announced, what will happen is out of the 100, 10% employee contribution, that is 10 rupees, and 10% employer contribution, 10 rupees. So 20 would be deducted and employee will get 80 rupees in hand. So earlier he was getting 76, now he is getting 100. So he is getting 80. So now he is getting 4 rupees extra. Now this is for cases where the employer contribution to PF is part of CTC. Normally this is the pattern followed everywhere in every corporates and in every establishments. So जहाँ पे employer का contribution is part of the CTC, the 4% benefits gets transferred to the employee. जहाँ पे cover नहीं होता है, जहाँ पे employer का contribution is over and above that 100, वहाँ पे 2 rupees का benefit employee को जाएगा और 2 rupees का benefit employer को जाएगा.
Great. So we don't see any questions over here. I think this part is pretty much clear to the audience. So the next part is with respect to NBFC, which we are not covering over here. Then let's move on to more relevant in terms of income tax provisions. So as we can see, the whole idea of this announcement was to increase the liquidity in the hands of businesses. That's where they have probably come out with this provision of reduction in TDS rates. So whatever TDS rates that were earlier applicable, that's a standard rate deduction of 25%. So in case of a professional or a consultant, agar uska, if he's invoicing say rupees 5 lakhs to some company, and तो उसमें से 10% of amount would have got deducted as TDS. So instead of 10%, now the deduction will be 7.5%. So that 25% extra is what he'll get in his hand, and so that will not be his withholding tax. So in lieu of this, the government is trying to increase the in-hand income for businesses, professionals as well. Like we talked about the salaried people in the earlier slide, wherein their take-home salary will increase because of the reduced PF. Here they are trying to increase the take-away amount for businesses and professionals like that. So a simple rule, whatever TDS rates that are there, whatever rates used to deduct the TDS for your vendors or as a service provider, whatever rates the company or the customers are deducting, there's a 25% extra benefit that you'll get as in your hand.
Yeah, and this is applicable from today. So all the past TDS payments of FY 19-20 has to be done at full rate.
Okay, so I believe that whatever. So here one clarity I would like to understand in terms of a businessman, who is invoicing on a returnership basis. So probably so this is particularly an understanding of professional aspect. Now on a returnership basis, if I'm doing a monthly invoicing for some of my client and I have not yet invoiced for the month of May. So it's a good idea to make the invoice now, or if I have not yet released the invoice in the past date, like maybe I have made an invoice say on 10th of May, but I have not released it yet. So in this case, what will be your opinion? So will the TDS rate will be still 10%, or no, I can take benefit of this reduced rate? Deva?
Yeah, I didn't get it. Can you just repeat?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So when we say कि आज के बाद the TDS rate will be applicable right from date after, अगर as a returner service provider, अगर मेरा एक invoice में 10 तारीख को clients को share करता हूँ,
करेक्ट,
जो मैंने बनाया है लेकिन अभी तक share नहीं किया है, तो what would you suggest कि वो 10 तारीख का invoice में अभी cancel करके आज की तारीख का invoice raise करूँ, या it won't make any difference if I raise it for 10th of May or today?
No, now it depends upon the date of deduction of TDS. Even for the invoice of 10th of May, the date of deduction can be on the date of booking when the vendor books the invoice.
Okay.
So even if the vendor is booking it from today, he can deduct TDS from the new rates.
Great. So let's go to the question answer session. So there are a couple of questions in respect of where is that? Okay, so there are a couple of questions in respect of MSME. Let's take it at the end of the session. With respect to the PF that we discussed, CA Dhananjay is asking where is that 10% is written in PF. So I think let's go to that slide earlier. Okay, so as we can see over here, this third point which says the statutory PF contribution of both employer and employee will be reduced to 10% each from existing 12%. So the reduction that we are talking about 2%. So this is Dhananjay for you. So this is the slide where it is very clearly said the new rate for other salary employees which are not covered in the earlier this one. I can say the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package, wherein employees with less than 15,000 salary will take benefit on this. For others or every other entity and employees, this particular side will be applicable wherein the rate of PF will be 10 instead of 12.
Yeah. And the 3 months would be May, June and July.
Yes. No, sorry, it's in June, July, August.
That is for the other one. I think for this, it would be May, June and July. I think more clarification will come by way of a circular or something.
For the next quarter, they are saying. Okay. So that's not mentioned over here, right?
That's not mentioned.
Good. So again, the next question in respect of TDS we have from Ajay Patel. Have they clarified about TDS on payment when the payee doesn't have a PAN? Is this provision applicable in this scenario? Would you like to take that, Deva?
I think it is related to all types of TDS. So even
a 20% like
20% would be having the benefit, but still I think clarification from government is awaited on this.
Okay, so I think just to make it more clear for the other people, so generally when you deduct a TDS, your PAN number is compulsory, and there's a provision in TDS if you don't have a PAN number, your TDS will be deducted at the rate of 20%. So this question relates to that 20%. So whether this 25% reduction is applicable on the 20% as well. So with the existing pointers, it's very clear that it's applicable on that as well. And instead of 20%, yes, you will probably reduce TDS at 15%.
No, I think the government has come out with a circular, and if the PAN is not there, I think there is no reduction of TDS in that case.
Okay, there's no reduction.
No, that is a clarification has been there.
Oh, okay. So I think this is something new for the for me as well and for the audience as well. So in case of non-PAN deductees, the rate is still the same as 20%. Okay. Then the next help in terms of taxation is the extension of due dates, which is very clear. So I don't think that is much to explain over here, but still, the only change or surprise packages over here is like the due date for the tax audit is earlier than the due date for the individual ITMs. So that's the only change. Otherwise, there's nothing much to explain over here. It's very clear impact. So going back to our MSME section, let's take a couple of questions that are there. So we have a question from Brand Gappa, and I think it's both questions are somewhat related to the trading activities, the traders. So it goes like whether jewelry retail and the real estate sector mostly come under trading. How can they benefit out of these new offerings? There's one more question, Devang, with respect to trading activity, which is what is there for merchant exporters? So by definition, I think the MSME thing is very clear. It's applicable only for manufacturing and service industry. They have not included trading sectors in it. So in my opinion, these two sectors, when we talk about a trading sector, will not be able to take benefit under the MSMEs. What's your opinion, Devang?
Yeah, I think the MSME definition is excluding, for trading companies, it is not applicable. It is specifically mentioned in the definition of MSMEs.
Right.
It is applicable for manufacturers and for service providers. So if you are a trader, you are just a middleman. So for middleman, they are not covered under MSMEs definition.
There's one more question from Ratnesh Shah. His question is, for a commercial place, he has taken a loan for a commercial property. He is a proprietary concern, and he has taken a commercial loan for the commercial place. So, is there any benefit for him?
Commercial loan, as in for giving
for
it
the
on
office
rent?
premise, for the office premise.
Yeah, so for giving it on rent, if I can make out of.
So I think there are two aspects over here. One, either he has taken the property for his own business, and other is he has taken a commercial property and rented out to someone else.
Correct. So for all the announcement which are done are for MSMEs and for businesses. So if it is for a personal thing, then it is not covered.
Personally, I think if he is running his own business from that commercial property,
yeah, then it is covered. Then if the loans are there, then existing loans he can get the benefits as I mentioned.
तो अगर मैंने मेरे existing office खरीदा है and that office के लिए अगर मैंने loan लिया है, तो that loan is probably covered over here.
Yeah.
Right. Good. So let's take another question over here in respect of TDS. For salaried, TDS is not changed. What's your take on this, Devang?
I have not been.
TDS on salary.
They have mentioned that all TDS have been reduced. So I have not gone through the notification in detail about salary.
Okay, but the income tax notification that has come today, you said it is not clear.
Yeah, I've not gone that in detail. I just went through.
So probably maybe we'll have a separate session on that.
Yeah, so we will come back to that answer after going through that notification.
Good. So I think Dhananjay, I request you to post this question in the comment section, and we'll give a detailed answer over this to you by referring the notification. So we have another question from Sandeep Sheikh. I'm a cosmetic manufacturer, a proprietorship. Shall I get benefit of this? Don't have any current loan.
So he can take the benefits like for the PF, for TDS, for expansion of his business. Under all those categories he can take.
But not with the initial emergency funding.
No, because there are no loans, existing loans. So for the first 2 points, he cannot take the benefits.
Right. So, okay, so there is a question to the earlier question that we have answered. In case of Ratnesh, he is a proprietor, he will get the benefit. So here, because he has taken a commercial place on loan, I understand. So as I know Ratnesh personally, so he is running a dental clinic, cosmetic dental clinic, and I think he's talking about this commercial property that he's running his clinic from. So in this scenario, even though he's a proprietorship concern and he has taken that loan for that clinic, which he owns, he is probably eligible for this benefit.
So ideally, it falls under the business loan category, and he can take the
right. It's kind of a business loan. So
So
Good.
three
So I
important
think we
things
are
are: first, you need to identify whether you fall under the MSME segment, whether you have an existing loan which is related to your business, and then you can decide whether you can take benefits of this.
so we are almost nearing to this session. We had a 45-minute session over here. So I think Devang, let's just simply summarize the announcement, the benefits again for our audience over here. So let me start. So with respect of the MSMEs, what we understand the government is typically or more strategically trying to implement more funds in the market to improve the liquidity, and the focus is more on MSMEs or units which are already borrowed some funds from the bankers to run their operations. So they are the ones who are primary beneficiary over here. And apart from that, they have come up with something to boost the expansion plans for other MSMEs which are not borrowers, but through equity funding they are boosting their expansions. And thirdly, they have widened the net of MSMEs, so they are covering a larger number of sectors or units into it. And fourthly, a couple of provisions under EPF and TDS to improve the liquidity in the hands of an employees and as well as the business owners and professionals.
And also the disallowance of global tenders, so you can
So
the government
a local MSME can also apply to the chances of him getting the tenders are more because there are no global players
the
in that.
competition becomes reduced from global markets. So
Right. So guys, that was it from us on this Atmanirbhar Bharat Relief Part 1, wherein a lot of things with respect to MSME and a business owner, we have tried to give our clarity, our idea over it, and I think we were helpful to you. We have, in some other way, if we have helped you, you feel you gained some clarity on this. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, because in future also we'll be coming up with similar issues, similar videos wherein we'll try to give you clarity, explain the notifications, tax updates in much simpler manner to you guys. With this, Devang, I'll hand over to you to conclude.
So all the questions which are pending to be answered, we will take a little bit of time and answer them individually. So none of the questions are unanswered. We will reply to all of them.
Right. So, right, guys, thanks for watching us. This is CA Ketan Sarage and CA Devang Doshi signing off. Thanks for giving us your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.